I have just learned of the death of Professor Philomona Fundi Indire and his wife with shock, especially both dying immediately after each other. I have visited his home in Vijina, Maragoli once. In Kimaragoli, Vijina means small stones, small stone. And those of you who have been to Maragoli will know that actually even the county itself is called Vihiga. Now, Vihiga and Vijina is the same name but pronounced differently. It was around 1998 or 1999 when I learned that there was a funeral behind the bus stage that is called Library Stage. There is that stage at Kenya National Library Services. There is a stage there, people call it Library Stage. That is where the houses there is where the funeral was. A man of my age had lost his wife, and I wanted to do video coverage. I was granted the privilege, and I must say that that was one of the coolest assignments I ever had as a video man. No haggling over price. Any suggestion quickly accepted. When I used to do video coverage, I used to find that there are some people, even the simplest thing, they would argue for hours. But in this funeral and a few others, I found that no haggling over anything was happening. Any suggestion was quickly accepted and adapted. Mourners were very cordial, etc., etc. But there was this elderly man whom everybody held in awe, including even the bereaved man. Whenever this person came, even when people were discussing among themselves, doing their own things, people would look aside where the old man was to make sure that he was comfortable or anything. For example, if you wanted a cup of tea, you'd find 3 or 4 people rushing to attend to him. Although he didn't take he didn't behave as a senior, as an important person or anything. It's just that the people around him really held him in high esteem. I asked around who the individual was, and I was met with surprise. Everybody was surprised that I did not know who that person is. They asked me, don't you know Professor Indire? I asked, Professor Indire? I don't know Professor Indire. That is when I was told that he was one of the first indigenous Kenyan African professors. Actually, he was the first African professor in the Faculty of Education. People just, you see, there is a difference between being the first professor in a specialty and being a first professor throughout. So he was the first professor in the Faculty of Education. People like Professor Bethel Ogutu was the first professor in the Faculty of History, and so on and so forth. That is now Professor Indire for you. I later learned that he was an elder brother to Charles, the man who had lost his wife. I also met the professor's wife, a very dignified lady whom I just learned this week that she was among the very first 10 girls to join Alliance High School. Alliance High School initially used to be a boys' school. Then it became a mixed school. Then later they became two, because there is Alliance High School, which is still boys' school to date, and there is Alliance Girls High School. Neighbor, those who have been there, you'll see the schools neighbor each other. When the church decided to make it a co-education for boys and girls, 10 African girls were taken there. Now, two of them, one was Margaret Kenyatta, and the other was the wife to Professor Indire, the lady whom we lost recently. I don't know about the other 8. So you can see she's very important. Among the very first 10 girls in Kenya to attend secondary school. Margaret Wambui Kenyatta was the daughter of Mzee Jomo Kenyatta, and she was a stepsister to Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. I came to learn that Professor's mother was the same as Chelsea's mother. Professor, age-wise, was the same age as Lando, my father, and Charles was the same age as me. But then it happens that, especially those days, women would just give birth to so many kids that you'd find the firstborn has children the same age as his or her youngest sibling of the same mother. I'm not even talking of the father even marrying several wives. So Professor Indire's mother or parents, both parents, were the same as Charles. I think Charles is the name of the person. That was 98 or 99, so I can't remember very well. They were born of the same parents, same father and same mother. But soon after Charles had been born, their mother died. And since Professor was already married to this lady whom we recently lost, Mrs. Professor brought up Charles as though she was his mother, even though she was his sister-in-law. So I'm trying to say here is that this lady or this couple was very good from the beginning. Imagine adopting the man's brother and bringing him up to the level that his education could be brought. If I remember well, their home is along, if you're moving from Maragoli to Bunyore, you branch somewhere to the left. When you branch to the left, as you pass by, a secondary school is on your right. And if my memory serves me well, the secondary school was a girls' school. At the end of the road is where Professor's home was. But before you reach the Professor's house, the last house on your right was Charles's house. If my memory serves me right, because I have a photographic mind. As in Luhya funeral traditions, all homes in the funeral area are visited by everybody. Everybody. Any strangers can come, enter there. Let me give an example. Suppose you are going to some place and you find there is a funeral there. You don't even know who the person is. You can go there, be served with the meals and move, and nobody will even have noticed that a total strangers come, eaten and gone. That tradition is with the Luos also. I'm not saying it is bad, but it's that I'm telling those people who are not from those tribes how welcoming such things is. And I noticed two things. One was that people would tell each other that they should visit the home, since it is usually out of bound. That the home I mean is not Chelsea's home, but I mean the professor's home, saying, let us go there. Because after this funeral, we will not have time to go there. The other thing that I noticed, and I can remember, is that As the funeral was about to end, when there is a funeral, there is a program where such and such a person talks, such and such a person talks, and then after they are through with the talkings, then the church takes over. So just as the church was about to take over, a professor took the mic and told the people, without provocation. I don't think there was. I think even if he would have kept quiet, the thing would have gone unnoticed. But he just took a microphone and said, "You have been hearing and seeing a young girl being referred to as the daughter of Charles and the lady who is about to be buried. They are raising her, but she is not their biological daughter. Her mother and the lady we are about to bury are sisters." I found that one not to be necessary or anything, but it showed that his life he used to be sensitive to any small moshene. Yeah, that is the impression I got, that he is somebody who was sensitive to very small rumors. To me, I formed the opinion that Professor was like Lando, my father. That characteristic is, for those of you who grew up in my age, you'll find that that age group of people who were born in the 30s, whom I'll call colonial civil servants, they used to be so sensitive about small rumors and whatever, things that they could have ignored and moved on. But all in all, I enjoyed the visit and the reception by everyone, especially the three, especially the bereaved man, Professor, and Mrs. Professor. They welcomed me well, and I really enjoyed the stay there. With those remarks, I want to pass my condolence to the family of the Professor Indire. Thank you and God bless you.